shoulder blocks today. That will be what we're practicing with. And we'll come to a seated position. And if it's helpful for you to sit up on a blanket or a block or some bolster or anything like that, go ahead and grab the props that are going to make this the best case scenario for you. And then come to a seat and try to cross your shins right at the center of your shin so that your knees are in front of your hip points and your feet are right underneath your knees. And you can rest your hands palms down on your inner knees and allow yourself to organize your physical structure. So organize, like that means first of all, figure out where everything kind of landed and then figure out where it makes sense for it to be. So come into awareness of your sitting bones, the bowl of your pelvis, your spine reaching out of your pelvis to hold your rib cage directly above the bowl of your pelvis, the crown of your head sitting directly on top of your spine so that the very top of your skull is in line with your two sitting bones. And then drop your shoulders away from your ears and imagine you could lift your heart from the inside out. And then take a deep cleansing breath and breathe all the way into the very top, imagining you're pouring the breath in and filling from the bottom to the top of your lungs. And when you get to the top, hold your breath. See if you can sip in just a little bit more. And then open your mouth and sigh that breath out. And then again, imagining that you could pour the breath in from the bottom to the center to the top, feeling the breath expand three-dimensionally inside of your torso, all the way to the top of the collarbones. And when you get there, see if you can sip in just a little bit more. And then again, open your mouth and let that breath release. One more time on your own, just feel how slowly and how completely you can bring that breath in. When you get to the top, hold, see if you can take in just a little more. And open your mouth and let that breath go. And then allow your breath, it's like you cleared the pathway, so just allow the breath to move in and out, dragging the breath across the back of your throat for Ujjayi Pranayama, allowing your breath to make the sound of the ocean. And listen to your breath. This is your teacher. This is your spirit. This is your guide for the next hour. Everything else that I offer is simply a suggestion, but you're here to dance with this mysterious energy called your breath. And it keeps breathing even when you're sleeping, even when you're not telling it to. So just coming into a place of gratitude for this mysterious force, which oftentimes we don't even recognize. So just spend the next minute, listening to your breath, acknowledging the potency, the profoundness of having this life, of having this breath. As you study your breath, notice the quality of your mind. When we steady the breath, we steady the mind, we calm the fluctuations of the mind. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. And we'll just start our practice with one chant of Om. So take a deep breath in. Just let let that sound resound for a moment. Slowly allow your eyes to open. Hello. Extend your arms out to the sides as if you could touch the sides of the room. And then revolve your biceps up towards the ceiling. So you've externally rotated through your shoulder joint. And then on your inhale breath, swoop your arms up. And as you lift your arms, imagine you were lifting your ribcage up out of your pelvis. Relax the inner upper shoulders. Roll the triceps towards the front. On your exhale, start to twist towards the left, contracting your belly muscles to do so. And then take your right hand across to the outside of your left knee. Drop your left fingertips behind you. Take an inhale and feel the length of your spine growing taller. And as you exhale, contract your belly muscles a little bit more and exaggerate the twist. So you're listening to the sound of your breath to see how far you can go. Observe how much you can lengthen as you inhale. And observe the quality of the twist as you exhale. Take one more round of breath like this. And then lift the left arm back up to the ceiling, holding onto your right knee. Slowly start to side bend, gluing your left sitting bone down into the floor. And so that right arm is providing some leverage or some traction. The more you hang back onto your right arm, the more you stretch through your left arm. And breathe. Continue to revolve your pinky finger, your left pinky finger, down towards the floor. Good, and then come back up and take the arms back out to the sides again. One more time, revolve your biceps up towards the ceiling. Inhale, take the arms up, and as you do, feel everything lifting up out of your pelvis. It's as if you could levitate. Slowly start to twist towards the right. Take your left hand across to the outside of your right knee. Right fingertips land behind you. On your inhale, you're looking to lengthen that spine, growing taller. And as you exhale, contract your belly muscles and observe the twist. So your breath is your teacher. So as you stay here and breathe, what do you observe? What messages are coming to you from the wisdom of your breath? And then on your next inhale, take your right hand up and over, hanging onto your left arm for leverage, spinning your right pinky fingers down so that you feel there's no congestion in the inner upper shoulder. And there's that openness. Allow yourself to breathe here, exploring the length of the right hand side of your body. And then bring yourself back, arms extended out to the sides. Bring your hands together in front of you, interlace your fingers, invert your palms, and reach forward, stretching between your shoulder blades. Drop your chin to your chest. I have so much dog hair on me right now. And as you inhale, stretch up, up, up. Find that length again. So the longer we can get our spines, the more we're able to create a twist. Flatten your palms to the ceiling so that your pinky fingers are level to your pointer fingers. And just keep drawing the belly in like you keep narrowing the cylinder of your torso. Good. Release your palms. Place your fingertips down in front of you and walk your hands forward any amount as you root down through your sitting bones. Maybe you melt the forearms a little bit closer to the floor. And imagine you could magnetize your sternum towards your thumbs. So you're lengthening the front part of your spine just as much as the back part of your spine. Breathe. Notice where you feel the breath moving in your body. Good. And then walk your hands back in. Extend your legs out in front of you. Notice which shin you have in front. Extend your legs out in front of you. Just give them a well-deserved little shake. Flex and point your toes a few times. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders. I'm not doing that, so good. And then cross your shins one more time. Opposite shin in front. Noticing that your knees are in front of your hip points and your knees are also on top of your hips. And then reach reach your arms out in front of you again. Interlace your fingers, opposite thumb on top. Invert your palms. Feel that stretch between your shoulder blades, like you could stretch through the back of the heart. And as you inhale, slowly let those arms float up, as if you could have your palms be absolutely flat to the ceiling. Roll your triceps forward. It's okay if your arms are a little bit more forward. They don't have to go straight up towards the ceiling. Make your elbows as straight as you can. Yeah, that's good, Charles. Breathe. Notice what's uncomfortable and just see if you can be with that. Get even longer, more space between your rib cage and your pelvis. Got a very excited pup there. Revolve your palms to face each other and then take your fingertips down and walk your hands forward again. And so what does it feel like in your body to feel gratitude in this moment? What does it feel like to be happy, to be satisfied in being here, Sharon? Breathe. And slowly walk your hands back in. Good. All right, let's come to hands and knees, tabletop position. Move any props you have aside. And as you come into hands and knees, let's just take a moment to stretch the wrists or turn your fingers to face your knees. Micro bend the elbows. And shift your weight backwards as you try to press the place where your wrists and your palms come together into the floor. Good. And then turn your hands around again. Fingers spread nice and wide. Eyes closed as you move through cat and cow. So really feeling that current of your breath carrying your body through this movement. Being aware of whatever's touching the floor, making sure that you're pressing down through the tops of the feet, the shins, the palms. And just allowing that clear pathway for your breath to move. This is a moving meditation. It's a dance and the choreographer is your breath. And your body is the dancer. We move with intention. We move with that smoothness of our breath so that the mind stays smooth. And then find your way into a neutral spine. So evaluate the front of your spine and the back of your spine. Make sure they're even in length. Imagine the crown of your head was being magnetized towards the front of the room. Extend your right leg straight back behind you, heel in line with your sitting bone, and feel that right inner thigh revolving up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, knee to nose, kind of like a cat shape. Imagine you could give your knee a kiss. And as you inhale, extend your legs straight back behind you again. As you exhale, knee to nose. And as you inhale, send that leg straight back behind you again. One more time, exhale, knee to nose. Find your abdominal muscles. And as you inhale, stretch that leg back behind you. Cup your left fingertips, reach your left arm forward as if you could karate chop the floor, so pinky side of your hand down. And then imagine someone was pulling your left wrist forward, pulling your right ankle backward, but the front of your body was supporting this shape. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your right leg up, bring your left hand down, tuck your left toes under, and lift your hips up into a 3-legged dog, keeping your hips even, pressing evenly into the palms of each hand. Press your left heel down towards the floor. Roll your triceps down towards the floor, and imagine someone was lifting up right where your armpits and your arms started to meet, creating a little bit of a lift to those bones. Good, now start to shift that knee forward, shift your body forward, curl your knee in towards your chest, and step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down to the floor. Press the top of your foot and your toenails down into the floor. And as you inhale, rise up. Feel your rib cage lifting up out of your pelvis. So you're going for length in the spine. Think of the very top of your inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Now from here, just tip your spine forward about 45 degrees. Yeah. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, contract your belly muscles, navel to the spine. Tap your left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. And as you inhale, come back to where you started from on that diagonal. Again, exhale, draw the belly into the spine. Create a little twist. And as you inhale, come back again. One more time. This time you'll hook your elbow on your knee, press the palms together, and lift your heart towards your thumbs. Imagine you could pull your hands down and back in towards your heart. Good, and then release your twist. Bring your hands down to the floor. Slide your back knee back about 1.5 inches and shift your hips backwards into half Hamanasana. Again, still thinking of both inner thighs revolving towards the back. Flex your right toes towards your shin. Elongate your sternum towards your big toes. Yeah, blocks are a great idea. So if you want to place blocks underneath your hands, go for that. Left hand is going to stay down either on the floor or the block. Right arm is going to spin up into a twist. Open your chest towards the right hand side. And imagine your shoulder blades pressing into the front of your body. Breathe. What does it feel like to be grateful in this moment? Good. Slowly revolve your right arm back down. Rebend your right knee. Root your palms down on either side of your right foot. Lift your left knee up off of the floor. Imagine you were pulling your hands backwards, lengthening your chest forward, and step your right foot back to meet your left. So you're at the top of a push-up, nice and strong. Feel the inner thighs revolve up towards the ceiling. Cultivate that strength in the center of your body. At the same time, you work on elongating. So press your heels back against an imaginary wall behind you. And then take 5 seconds, however you want to get there, to lower your body all the way down to the floor. Good. Now take your hands out wider than your yoga mat. Just your fingertips down on the floor, and your hands are slightly forward of the shoulders for this, okay? Now pull the floor backwards and curl your upper spine upward, and as you press your fingertips down, you can feel how your heart will kind of reach forward. Yes, gorgeous. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, allow it to roll back down to the floor. Again, inner thighs spin up, pubic bone anchors down. As you inhale, peel your heart up off of the floor, press into your fingertips. Find a little more lift, good. And as you exhale, roll it back down one more time. Last time, rolling cobra, feel your chest lifting, press into your fingertips, lift. Good, and as you exhale, release it back down. Place your hands by the sides of your body and shift your hips all the way back into a child's pose, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Feeling the length through your arms as your fingertips strive to touch the short end of your yoga mat. Your hips reach back for your heels and your triceps roll towards the underside of your arms. You find that external rotation even here. Good, and then shift forward into tabletop once more. You can bring your knees a little bit closer together. They don't need to touch. Find that neutral spine, so you're lengthening from the tailbone through the crown of the head, supporting your back body with your front body, and then extend your left leg straight back behind you. feel that rotation, the inner thigh revolving up towards the ceiling, the pinky toes revolving down towards the floor. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend and get long again. And just follow the wave of your breath. And do it one more time, knee to nose. Inhale for that length. Good, and then cup your right fingertips and reach the right arm forward, finding that length. So holding 5, 4, 3, keep your breath smooth, 2, and 1. Right hand comes back down, tuck the right toes under, lift your hips up and back, three-legged dog. So you want your hips to be pretty even here. So roll that left hip down towards the floor, left inner thigh up towards the ceiling as you root down through your right heel. Doesn't matter if your heel touches or not, but it's striving to hit the floor. Palms pressing evenly into the floor. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to shift forward, knee to chest, and step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down to the floor, uncurl your toes. And as you inhale, rise all the way up. It's like you're lifting your ribcage up off of your pelvis. Think of the inner thighs, the very top of the inner thighs touching. Relax through the inner upper shoulders. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Good. Tip your spine forward on that diagonal. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, belly to the spine, draw the right elbow across towards the outside. And as you inhale, revolve back. So the spine is long. We have this little diagonal angle that we're revolving on. Exhaling from the belly muscles, create the movement. Inhale back to the center. One more time. This time, hook your elbow. You can always hook it onto the inner part of your leg if the outside feels far away. And then press the palms together. Lift the heart towards the thumbs. And imagine that you could lean back over your shoulder blades to open a heart. Good, and then release your twist. You can use your blocks. Place your blocks on either side. Slide your back knee back about 1.5 to 2 inches and straighten through that left leg. So shift the hips backwards, coming into half Hamanasana. It's very easy here to round the back, but I want you guys to not do that. I want you guys to almost pull on the floor, pull on the blocks, so that the top of your sternum can elongate forward. And then thinking of the very top of the inner thighs as if you're holding that tiny piece of parchment paper between the two. Right hand stays down, left arm opens up. Can you find that shoulder blade, that you can lean back over your shoulder blades to get a little bit more opening through your chest? Last breath. Slowly revolve it down. Re-bend your left knee. Tuck your back toes under, root your palms. And step back into a plank pose. So nice and strong here, lifting through the sides of the waist. Elongating the top of the sternum away from the bottom of the sternum. And pressing your heels back against that imaginary wall. Shift forward, take 5 seconds, count for yourselves to lower your belly all the way down to the floor. However you get there, you can drop your knees. However you get there. And then the hands are going to be directly underneath the elbows. Imagine you could pull your hands backwards and feel how that anchors your shoulders down. Then start to coil the upper spine up, keeping your pubic bone anchored into the floor. Keep the back of the neck long, gaze at your cheekbones. And as you exhale, roll it back down. Twice more, just lifting, allowing your spine to coil up and observing how your breath is curating that journey. Good. Exhaling to release back down. And one more time, baby cobra, curl it up. and as you exhale, roll it down. Good. So shift your hips backwards into child's pose again. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Feel the arms elongating, and the length of the arms is translating to the length of the spine, the lengths of the sides of the body. Good, now shift forward. Tabletop position, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. So our first full-on downward facing dog of the day. So notice, how does it feel? Can you press down through the inner part of your palms and the root of every single finger? And can you revolve the eyes of the biceps up towards the ceiling as you lift the pubic bone up, 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 and away from the shoulders? Draw the front ribs in a little bit so that we have equal length on the front and the back of the body. Can you be grateful here in this moment? And then slowly start to walk your feet forwards towards the front of your yoga mat. Take your time. And when you get there, land with your feet inner hips distance apart. And if you want to assess, just place your fists together between the highest part of your arches. And that's about the distance. Fingertips to the floor, your shins or blocks. As you inhale, lengthen your chest forward. As you exhale, fold back in. Allow your belly to get a little bit closer to your thighs. Allow the crown of your head to release and shake your head yes or no. Or both. Good, and then bring your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, stand all the way up, feeling your pelvis revolve so that the bowl of your pelvis is once again neutral. Drop your hands down to the floor, shoulders back, lift your heart from the inside out, and just take a moment into Dasana. I've heard teachers say before that yoga teaches us to stand on our own 2 feet. So what does it mean to stand evenly, to stand as if you were on the precipice of a cliff, with all of this perspective, with all of this wisdom flowing from within you? And that's where we want to practice from. So as you inhale, swoop your arms, gather all of that wisdom, gather all of that energy. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward, long spine. Good. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, step your left foot to the back of the yoga mat, drop your left knee down. Inhale, lift yourself up. Feel the ribcage lift off of the pelvis. Exhale, hands come down, tuck the back toes under, step the right foot back to meet the left. Knees up or down, lower halfway down for Chaturanga. As you inhale, baby cobra, upward facing dog. If you're ready, if you're an upward facing dog, the arms are vertical. You're looking straight in front. As you exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And feel the underside of your arms lifting as if you could create more space for a triangle underneath your body. Inhale your left leg straight back behind you, inner thigh side of your leg lifts. As you exhale, curl your knee in towards your chest, step your foot between your hands and drop the back knee down. Inhale, circle the arms. Feel the elevation, feel like we're levitating. We're teaching ourselves to get more spacious. As you exhale, bring your hands down, tuck your right toes under, step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to fold a little bit deeper. Can you get your belly closer to your thighs? As you inhale, circle your arms, reach all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Samastiti. It means evenness, harmony. Release your hands, fingertips reach towards the floor. Again, inhale, gather, scoop, whatever it is that you're bringing in. As you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. On your inhale, lift your chest. On your exhale, step your right foot to the back of the yoga mat. Drop your right knee down. As you inhale, circle the arms to lift the ribcage off of the pelvis. As you exhale, bring your hands down, tuck your right toes under, step your left foot back to meet your right. As you exhale, knees up or down, lower halfway chaturanga. You can always skip these. Inhaling baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to feel that triangle underneath you and create a little bit more space, like that triangle is getting pumped up like a balloon. Inhale the right leg straight back behind you. Inner thigh side of your leg is lifting. As you exhale, curl your knee in towards your chest. Step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down. As you inhale, circle the arms. Reach up. Feel that lift as you scoop the lowest part of your belly in. As you exhale, bring your fingertips down. Tuck your left toes and step your left foot forward to meet your right. On your inhale, lift the chest. On your exhale, fold it in. On your inhale, circle and rise, rise. Allow yourself to be uplifted here. And as you exhale, stay uplifted and bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, circle your arms, gather up above. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, step your left foot back behind you. This time, don't put your knee down. And as you inhale, circle your arms. Lift your rib cage up off of your pelvis. Crown of the head is stacked directly over the center of the pelvis. Good. As you exhale, bring your hands down. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Knees up or down. Shift forward. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press a little bit more into your fingertips to de-weight your wrists slightly. Notice that. And then can you relax through the inner upper shoulders. Inhale the left leg straight back behind you. As you exhale, shift forward, step your foot between your hands. You can widen your feet a little bit, so you're not so much on a tightrope. Inhale, rise up into your crescent, and as you lift the arms, lift your pelvis up your rib cage up off of your pelvis. Relax the inner upper shoulders. As you exhale, fingertips come down, step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, circle and rise. Allow yourself to rise. Allow your energy to rise. As you exhale, hands come together in front of your heart, coming home. As you inhale, circle the arms. This is the last round. As you exhale, hinge and fold it forward. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of your yoga mat. Circle your arms and rise up into your crescent. Follow your own breath. As you exhale, bring your hands down and move either through a vinyasa, or you can always go straight to downward facing dog. As you find your downward facing dog, just take a moment to be there, to be grateful in this moment for the floor underneath you, for this sacred place called your yoga mat, where you come to be more with yourself, truly with yourself. Inhale your right leg straight back behind you. As you exhale, shift forward, curl your knee in towards your chest, step your foot between your hands, and circle your arms, rise up to that crescent shape. And as you exhale, bring your fingertips down, step your left foot forward to meet your right. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, fold back in. As you inhale, circle the arms, reach all the way up, full potential of your body. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just allow yourself to feel a sense of closure with that Surya Namaskar seat. So we have saluted the sun and we've warmed our body. Release your fingertips down, bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. If you have anything going on in your lower back, you can keep your feet hip distance. Bend your knees and circle your arms. Utkatasana chair pose. As you come to Utkatasana, scoop the lowest part of your belly in and up. Feel as if your shoulder blades could move towards the sides of your body. And just hold it here for a moment. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just like we did in the beginning, just start to twist. Don't worry about hooking anything. Okay, just tap that elbow. And then inhale, bring it back. Good, again, as you exhale, twist. Left elbow towards the right knee. Should have said that. Inhale, bring it back. One more time, exhale, and this time you can hook. Press the palms together. Lift the heart. Second stage, if you want it, left arm reaches down, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Can you widen your wingspan? Good, and then come back into your chair pose. Lengthen the distance between your sitting bones and your palms, and then bring your hands together in front of your heart again. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right elbow comes across. Contract your belly muscles to get there. As you inhale, bring it back to center. So feeling that twist and that unravel. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, bring it back. One more time. Exhale, twist towards the left. This time, hook your right elbow. Press the palms. Lift the chest. Find a little back bend in the uppermost part of your spine. And maybe take the arms into second stage if it's part of your practice. Allow yourself to be grateful, even here and now. Good. Find your way back into chair pose on your next inhale breath. Good, and then slowly start to sit all the way down as you exhale. Lift your toes in line with your eye line for Navasana, boat pose. So, sitting up on the very, very center of your sitting bones, imagine that your chest was being lifted by an invisible cable. Take an inhale and lower yourself down, Ardha Navasana. And as you exhale, lift back up, Navasana. Yeah. 2 more times. Inhale, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, squeeze from your belly back up into Navasana. One more time. Inhale, lower it down. Scoop out the belly, and exhale, back up into Navasana. Good, now lower down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Keep your left leg where it is, float your right leg up, and interlace your hands, reach out over your right leg. As you inhale, lower your right leg down to meet your left. As you exhale, right leg lifts back up. Twice more, inhale, right leg down to meet the left. Exhale, right leg lifts back up. One more time, right leg lowers down to meet the left. Exhale, lift the right leg back up. And then take your right leg back to your left. And uninterlace your fingers. I can't talk while I'm doing this. Left leg lifts up. Reach your arms, interlace them over the left-hand side. As you inhale, elongate the left leg down to meet the right. As you exhale, lift the left leg back up. Follow your own breath for 2 more repetitions. Observe the sensation, but try not to react to it. Good. Find your way back to Ardha Navasana again, and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Just relax for a moment here. Drop the heels to the floor, heels close to your sitting bones, hands down beside you. And then imagine that your tailbone was elongating towards the backs of the knees. Lift the hips. Scoop the low belly, coming into a bridge. And then wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. Interlace your fingers and press the forearms down to lift the chest up. 5 breaths here. Inner thighs spin down towards the floor. Good. Release the interlace of your hands and slowly roll yourself down. Upper, middle, and lower back. Return to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Start to rock up and down the length of your spine. Do it a few times. And I'll throw you guys a challenge. if you can, rock yourself all the way back up to chair pose, maybe. Good. Come in chair pose. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to twist the left elbow over to the right hand side. Hook your elbow on your knee. Get a little lighter onto your left heel. So you're just on the ball of your left foot. And then kick your left heel towards your left glute. So you're like a little flamingo here. Start to extend that left leg back behind you. Eventually find the floor coming into a twisted crescent. Yeah, so as you come into that twisted crescent, press the palms together. Try to churn your abdominals a little bit more. And can you get your uppermost part of your chest to lift? Okay, take one more inhale here. As you exhale, unravel the twist. Find your blocks, or just bring your fingertips forward to the front of your mat and float your back leg up. Warrior 3 with your hands down on the floor. Look back at your left toes. Make sure that your left toes are pointing straight down towards the floor. And the very, very top of your inner thighs are trying to touch one another. Good. Now get a little bit lighter onto your fingertips. And either stay here or bring your hands together in front of your heart for Warrior 3. Good. Slowly start to bend your right knee. Reach your left leg way back behind you. Land. Take the arms up to the sky and look up. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Swoop your right leg back. Three-legged dog. And then shift forward, three-legged plank. Bend your right knee. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot and baby scorpion. Land the ball of your right foot to the left side of your mat and open it up for Wild Thing. Breathe here. Good. Slowly revolve your right hand back down. Come back into a plank pose. Move through a vinyasa or take it up and back into downward facing dog. Remember, you're listening to yourself. You're listening to the inner wisdom that runs through you. And so it's not decisions that are coming from your mind, it's a responsiveness to your breath. Hold your downward facing dog until things feel steady again. Maybe that means you take a child's pose. Good. At the end of your next breath, lift up high onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Step walk or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold it in. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart, bend the knees, circle the arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Bisect the midline of your body with your palms. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, twist your right elbow over to the left-hand side. Press the palms together. Lift the chest. Get a little bit lighter. Your right heel lifts up off of the floor. Once you're stable on that left leg, curl your right heel in towards your tush and start to extend that leg backwards. Strong seal between your outer left knee and your right elbow. And then find the floor, twisted crescent. Always put your back knee down here, guys, if it gets really tough. Press the palms together. Think about churning your belly. What are you wringing out here? That outer left knee is pressing into the elbow so that your knee is tracking over the center of your foot. And take one more inhale. As you exhale, unravel the twist. Walk your fingertips or your blocks forward and float your right leg up for Warrior 3. Hands down. And then just take a moment to organize your body. Do you feel that the inseam and the outseam of your left leg are even? Get a little bit lighter up onto your fingertips and either stay here or bring your hands together in front of your heart. Just listen to your breath. That's all that matters. Fingertips up or down. Start to bend that left knee. Reach the right leg way back behind you. Lift your arms, palms touch and look up. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward into a three-legged plank, and then bend your left heel towards your butt. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot and land the ball of your left foot to the right-hand side. Open it up. And then slowly revolve it back down. Take it through a vinyasa or opt to take a bright breather in child's pose, or just to move your hips up and back into downward facing dog. As you come into downward facing dog, allow your breath to steady and allow your mind to follow suit. So we're just going to add on a little bit. Lift up high onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Step walk or jump to the top of your mat. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, fold back down. Bend the knees, circle the arms, Utkatasana chair pose. Bisect the midline of your body with your palms. Twist your left elbow across to the outside of your right knee. Make sure that your hips have not swiveled. Lift your left heel away from the floor. Curl your left heel in towards your butt. Pause for a second. Press the outer right knee into your elbow and extend that left leg straight back. Eventually bend down and find the floor, coming back into your twisted crescent. This time, if you want to split the arms and go for a little bit of a bigger twist, you can do that. You can also opt to not do that. Breathe. What are you wringing out? What are you letting go of? Take one more round of breath. Good, and then unravel your twist. Take your hands back to the blocks in front of you and float it up. Back leg lifts off of the floor. So the left block is going to be right underneath your left shoulder. Bring your right thumb to your right hip crease and encourage that right hip crease to move back as you seal the very top of your inner thighs in towards one another. And then slowly start to twist your chest open towards the right, taking your right arm up towards the sky and keeping your left heel in line with your sitting bone. So lift that left leg a little higher, but make sure it's from the inner thigh side of your left leg. Good. Slowly revolve your right hand back down. Slowly start to bend your right knee, reach your left leg way back behind you, and when you land, arms lift up, join the palms at the top, crescent pose. As you exhale, bring your hands down, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward, three-legged plank, bend your right knee, heel towards your butt, and then roll to the outer edge of your left foot and land again in Wild Thing, opening up chest and belly to the sky. Slowly revolve it back down through a vinyasa if you like. Skip it if you prefer. Do what makes your breath the happiest and the smoothest. And when you find your way back to downward facing dog, lift up a little more space for that triangle underneath you. Let your breath smooth out. Lift up high onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, fold it in, bend the knees, circle the arms, Utkatasana chair pose. So you're thinking, how much can you reach? How much can you sit at the same time? Things are moving in opposition of one another. Bisect the midline of your body with your palms and twist your right elbow across to the outside of your left knee. Press the palms together, lift your chest a little more than you think you can. Can you lengthen the upper spine? Lift the right heel away from the floor. Curl the right heel in towards your tush. Make sure your right knee isn't pushing your left knee inwards, and start to extend that right leg back behind you. Left knee stays bent. You're using that left outer hip. Slowly start to bend your knee, land in your twisted crescent pose. We all fall down sometimes. Churn your belly. Every exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine a little bit more to exaggerate the twist. Last round of breath. Release your twist, take your hands forward onto blocks or onto the floor and float your right heel to the height of your sitting bone. Check that out, make sure you have that first, yeah? Make sure your right hand on the block or not is right underneath your shoulder, left thumb to the left hip crease, and see, can you actually physically move that hip crease back a little more? Keep spinning that right inner thigh up, don't forget about the right leg. Right leg is active. And then spin your chest towards the left, take the left arm up to the sky. Every breath, allow it to take you a little bit further. That doesn't mean further into the pose, it means further into the experience of listening. Good, slowly revolve your left hand back down. Start to bend that left knee, reach your right leg way back behind you. And when you land, rise up, crescent pose, join the palms at the top. As you exhale, hands come down, left foot reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward, three-legged plank. Bend your heel towards your tush, roll to the outer edge of your right foot, land on the ball of your left, and open it up wildly. Breathe. Good, slowly find your way back, plank pose. If you take a vinyasa, this will be the last one, or go straight to downward facing dog. And it will be our last downward facing dog. Okay. Bend your knees, come down, child's pose, big toes touch, heels, knees apart, and drop your hips back into your heels as you stretch your fingertips forward. Breathe into the back of your body. Imagine you could inflate your lungs, focusing more on the expansion in the back of the lungs. Good, and then just drag your chin and your chest forward, come all the way forward, and come into a Sphinx pose. So your elbows are at 90-degree angles. Look and make sure those are 90-degree angles, not like all scrunched up. Lift your chest as you anchor your pubic bone down. Take your left arm on a diagonal across your mat, bend your right knee, reach back and catch a hold of the top of your right foot. You can point your elbow up to the ceiling if that's available to you. Press the pubic bone down. Reach the left leg further back behind you. So you're pressing the top of the left foot and the right side of the pelvis down. Try to square your chest towards the front of the room. Good. Without slingshotting, release your ankle. Come back into a Sphinx pose. Diagonal your right forearm across your yoga mat. Bend your left knee, reach your right toes back a little further behind you. Reach your left hand, catch the inside of your left foot. And maybe revolve your elbow up towards the ceiling if that's available. You press down through the top of your right foot and the left pubic bone. That's it. Square your chest to the front as much as you can. Good, and then slowly release without slingshotting. Release your belly all the way down onto the floor. Reach your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Use your less familiar one, your more awkward one. Draw the inner elbows in towards one another. Lengthen your legs back behind you. And then as you start to straighten your arms, allow your shoulder blades to press to the front of your body. Keep gazing at your cheekbones. Pubic bone is pressing down, both the left and the right side of your pubic bone. Lengthen the legs so much that they float up off of the floor, inner thigh side first. Keep gazing at your cheekbones. Holding for 3, steady breathing. 2, and 1. Slowly release it down. Turn your cheek towards the right hand side and just allow yourself to breathe. Okay, so option to take Shalabhasana with the opposite thumb on top, or since you did the more awkward one, if you want to move on to boat pose, you grab the ankles, press the pubic bone down, start to press the shins back, and lift your chest and your thighs off of the floor, so you're balancing on your pubic bone. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Release, turn your face to the opposite side, and allow yourself to breathe into the back of your body. Feel how when you breathe into your belly, more breath has to go into the back of your body because your belly is constricted against the floor. And then place the hands by the sides of your body. One more time, press your hips back into a child's pose. And this time in your child's pose, take your arms around to the back behind you. And you can hold on to your fingertips and let your hands rest on the soles of your feet. Let your shoulders relax away from your spine. Good, and then place your hands down beside you and press yourself up so you're kneeling, sit off to the side, and swing your legs around to the front. Okay, so we're seated nice and tall. If you're slumped, sit up on a blanket. It will help you. You're going to bend your left knee so that your heel is in front of your pubic bone. Good. Now you're going to turn towards your left knee. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Take your left arm up and over and reach for your right toes. So we kind of like that twisting thing we did in the beginning where we're hanging on that leg for leverage. If you prefer, you can take your right hand to the inseam of your right leg, but I've kind of been playing with this variation lately. Good, and then rise back up and face your right leg, and then fold forward over that right leg. Long spine, think of elongating your sternum as if it could reach beyond your big toes. Can you flatten more the upper part of your spine? Good. Walk your fingertips back in. Extend your left leg back out and bring your right heel right in front of your pubic bone. You're going to twist that left arm over to the outside of your right knee. Take the right arm up to the sky. And then reach for your left toes with your right hand hanging on the leverage of your left arm and your right knee. Press the right knee away from you to exaggerate the stretch. Okay, breathe. Good, as you inhale, rise back up and feel your spine unravel. Now you're neutral. As you exhale, fold over the left leg. And use this opportunity to see if you can get the front of your spine to grow longer so your sternum reaches, taking some of that curvature out of the upper back. Good. Walk your fingertips back in. And now you're going to take the legs out wide, Upavista Konasana. Yeah, so again, if you're sitting on a blanket, great idea. Bend your knees and revolve your knees outward a little bit and then stretch your heels forward so you can elongate through the inseams of your legs. Toes straight up towards the ceiling. So revolve those toes up a little more, Carlton. Mary, straighten your legs. There you go. Good. And then just very slowly start to walk your hands forward. And if you have a block, it's nice if you want to put your forehead down on a block so that you can just relax and surrender into the shape a little bit more. Allow yourself to breathe. And what does it feel like right now in your body to be grateful? Slowly start to walk your hands back in. Grab a hold of the outsides of your legs and bring your knees in towards one another. Extend the legs out straight. Almost there. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Feel your ribcage lift up out of your pelvis. And then, like you could lay your torso down on your legs like a blanket. Reach your heart forward and come into that forward fold. Think about deepening the creases of your hips. So imagine those hip creases moving backwards as your sternum moves forwards. Make sure your legs are active, that they're not falling asleep, so the toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And then walk your hands back in. Hook your thumbs in front of you and start to roll yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you land, hug your knees in towards your chest. Reach your hands through the insides of your legs. Catch your big toes with your peace fingers. And it's like Malasana. It's happy baby, but think of Malasana, like doing a big squat with your feet on the ceiling and your knees towards your armpits. Feel the entire length of your tailbone is down on the floor. That's important. Good. And then draw your knees in towards one another. Drop your feet down to the floor. Extend your arms out to the sides. Cross the right thigh bone over the left. Shimmy the hips to the right and let your knees fall towards the left. You can gaze towards the right, or you can just close your eyes, but can you keep your right shoulder blade down on the floor and allow that breath current, that wisdom, that intelligence to move through you? And it truly does carry the intelligence for our bodies to heal without us having to do anything. It's that mystery of how does it know all of the functions to do? It's so complex. So just finding gratitude. Good. Slowly bring it back to the center. Switch the cross of your legs and shimmy your hips over to the left. Knees descend towards the right. Left shoulder blade tries to anchor into the floor. And you observe that current of breath. Where do you feel it in your body? Good. Slowly bring it back to the center. Hug your knees into your chest one last time. Lift your head and your shoulders. Try to touch your forehead to your knees and squeeze everything, everything, everything. Take a big breath in and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Allow that breath to release out and find your way into Shavasana. In your final resting posture, allow yourself to take up plenty of space on your mat. Allow this mat to be like a flying carpet. It's your place of transformation. It's your place where it carries you deeper into yourself. Oh my God, how funny. Your dog is doing Shavasana. It's the cutest thing ever, Sharon. Oh my God. And just allow your eyes to close. Allow your mind to blur. And allow your awareness to centrate into the centermost part of yourself. So if you draw a spiral and keep spiraling in and in and into the very centermost point, find yourself there. And when you're yourself to be peaceful. Allow yourself to be absolutely satisfied and content and grateful in this moment that you're in. And that is your practice right now. To be present, but surrendered. You're present in your soul, and you've released your ego so that you can be in the very center of the center of the center. Soften your jaw. Soften your neck. Soften your shoulders. Soften the space between your eyes. Allow your collarbones to widen. Allow your throat to expand. Allow the doors of your heart to be wide open. As you reside in the centermost part of the center. So what does it feel like in your body right now? The feeling of gratitude. What else do you notice as you use this time to cultivate gratitude? To learn to be on the lookout. On your next inhale breath, stretch your arms overhead. Imagine you are being stretched. Someone's pulling your wrists backwards, someone's pulling your ankles forward. You're in traction, you're getting as long as you can. And as you exhale, you can hug your knees in towards your chest and rock yourself gently from side to side. Eventually roll over onto the right hand side and press yourself to a seated position. Take all the time in the world that you need. And when you come to that seated position, organize your body. So we create a seat for the soul. We create a throne worthy of our divine spirit to reside within. And that's embodiment. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's close our practice with one more chant of Om. So take a deep breath in. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. And just imagine that place of expansive vision where we can see that everything actually is something to be grateful for. Allow your eyes to open.